Hello, my name is Pablo Requena and I'm here with Javier, my student, and we are making a guitar in a guitar making course that I'm running at the moment. And we did a video yesterday basically explaining the first part of the process in putting the Rosette together, and now we're going to have a look at the second part of the job in which we're going to see the last stages of how to inlay the Rosette into the soundboard. So Javier here has been doing quite a lot of work the last few hours preparing all this. So I'm going to explain to you roughly what has been happening so that you can see how we can go to this stage, and then we're just going to bring the Rosette out and put it back in together with glue and everything so that it's there forever. So if you come a bit closer, you can see that we've got all the tiles here in two different containers so that we can see which one is the left and which one is the right, because they have the taper in a different direction. And what we did, what Javier did was to bring everything into the slot that was already cut. So as you can see, each one of the tiles is alternating, and we have all the strips in place in both sides. And once we had all of them in place, everything was quite proud. So we used a block with sandpaper to be able to level everything up to get it down to the level of the spruce. Now we know that everything is level and is clean. What we're going to do is that we have to glue everything together, because all of this is just sitting in place, but there's no glue here, so everything could jump out any minute. So there's a simple technique, and what we're going to do, Javier has been very kind to let me do this job in front of the camera so that everybody can see it, and I think he probably was a bit relieved that he didn't have to do it himself. He probably thought better did you than me, so I'm very happy to do it. And so what we're going to do is, to be able to extract all of this in one go as a unit, we're going to use a little bit of masking tape, and very carefully we have to put the masking tape all the way around, making sure that the tape doesn't go over the first of the lines, which is the black line. And basically here with my finger I'm pressing it in place, and I'm just turning the tape around as I go along. So now that I've got this first piece in place, you can see the tape is obviously going to get on corrugated there. All I need to do is to press it down so that it's in contact with the Rosette. And as I'm pushing it down, the tape is going to bind everything together just temporarily while we're able to bring it out and put the glue in and everything. So now I'm going to put another strip, and I'm going to overlap a little bit so that is going on top of the previous one. And again, I'm just being very careful not to get the tape over into the soundboard. And again, like before, I'm getting the tape down to make sure that it's well stuck into the Rosette. Now we're a little bit short here, so I'm just going to get a little piece in there. And again, I'm going to bring it round so that it doesn't stick to the spruce. Okay, so now we need to get all of this out. So this can be a little tricky, so I need to find a knife. Let me see, I have a knife in here. I thought I had all my tools ready here in the bench, but there's always something missing. So I'm going to cut it there, and with the knife I'm going to lift it just a little bit. I'm going to take out this first half tile over there. I'm going to take it out because that's going to allow me to get this ruler under. Now the first one, it's always, you know, the beginning is always a little bit tricky, so you have to be very mindful and very careful how to do this so that the whole thing doesn't jump. But basically just find your way around again with the knife, see if I can get all the way under. Yeah, now it looks like it's coming. Okay, so now all I need to do is with the ruler hold it in the middle and just use it to lift it all up. And now we got it out, all in one piece. But now we have to put it back in with a little bit of glue. Now this tile has come out from here, so I'm just going to put it back so that it's in place. Sorry, this is quite easy, quite difficult to see from the camera probably. But just putting that back in there. Now this one, I'm going to remove all this dust. Okay, and also I'm going to tidy up this end over here because it's going to help me to put everything together, so I have to be very careful when I cut this to make sure that again things don't jump about. Okay, so that one is done. Now I'm going to cut the other side. Again, I'm holding everything together. Okay, so now we've got a nice clean cut over there, and now it is in with the glue, which I got over here. And then with this brush I'm just going to spread it around. And now I'm going to bring it towards the edge so that I know that the glue is covering the whole surface. And of course all this glue is going to come out, it's going to squeeze out, and it's going to make the whole surface of the soundboard quite messy. But as you can imagine, when this is dry and fitted in and dry, then we're going to be leveling everything up, and that will clean up all this glue that is going on the surface. Right, so now that we got the glue in there, this is already started to soak it in, so I'm just going to put a little bit more in this area here. I think it needs a tiny bit. And I'm just going to leave it in the middle, like that. And a little bit there, like that. This I'm going to get rid of. Right, so now we have to put it in. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to put this more or less so that I have an equal gap in each side, and I'm gonna just roughly put it in place, but I'm gonna press in only on the edges, never in the middle, and I'm gonna put in the inner part of the rosette. And then with a ruler I'm gonna compress the whole thing while I'm holding it, so that I press it in and put it back in place, and then it will drop in. But I don't press in the middle, because if I press in the middle I will be lifting the edges and it will never go in. So I'm just going to do that. You don't need to rush, because you got a little bit of time to get this job done, but you do have to make sure that you put in the inside first, and then press the outside. In, out, and the whole thing in the middle is sort of a bit lifted because the glue is stuck underneath. But you will see in a minute what we do with it. Now there are many steps in the process of doing this job that obviously I haven't been able to explain. So if you have any questions or anything that you would like to know, you can see lots of more pictures that they are in my Facebook page, which is Pablo Requena Spanish Guitars. I'm sure you can find that quite easily on Facebook. So you can see many more pictures, but also you can send me an email asking any questions and I will try to answer. And hopefully with this couple of videos it will help you to do your own rosette. Right, so what I'm doing here, I'm just pressing the center section, which is where the glue was sort of accumulated at the bottom, and what's happening is that the glue is sort of traveling in that direction, so we're going to have some coming out in a minute from here. You can see it's wanting to come out from there, so I'm just going to press it a little bit more, and we got that there. So the next step, get a little bit of paper to get rid of this. The next step is going to be to remove the tape. Now if I pull the tape up, obviously it's going to bring everything up with it. So the way to remove the tape is by peeling it off flat down against the soundboard. So I'm sort of pulling it this way so that there is no pulling action. If any of the tiles came up, then I just put it back in place, but nothing like that should happen. They should stay in place because the glue is already starting to bind everything together. There you are. So before we can call it a day, actually, we need to make sure that this is well stuck down and clamped together. So I've got here a working board, and I've got a hole which lines up with the hole in the center of the rosette, and then I've got this little round piece of MDF, again with a hole to line up with that, and I've put tape to make sure that the glue is not gonna get everything stuck together. And then I've got a drill bit of the same diameter which will go through the whole of all this together. And now what I need to do, Javier, if I can get a few clamps, I'm going to put one clamp over here to get everything at the right level, and then I'm just going to put a few clamps all the way around. This one has got this, so we can use that. You can pass me the other one, yeah? Yeah, we need a few more. So with these clamps I'm going to be pressing, I think I need another three. We're going to be pressing on top of the rosette to make sure that we clamp it all down together. That one there, and this one in here. So now I'm just going to go around pressing it down. So what will happen is that tomorrow we'll take this out, get all the clamps off, get all of this off, and then we will be able to pass the soundboard through the sanding machine to level everything up. It will have a beautiful rosette. So I will put some pictures on Facebook so that you can see the end result, but this is basically how you fit in a rosette. I hope you enjoy it, and like I say, if you got any questions, just let me know.